Hello, so it's the 11th of June. Got back from our production meeting a few hours ago, and this is the start of our sort of stepping up of documentation. Found out about Arts Council last week, and along with many other things, we're stepping up. Feeling like there's a lot to do at the moment. Tomorrow is a big day. BT is the main person to contact and try and sort that out. That's been a bit of a mess, trying to get internet at the vaults. Really behind on the marketing. Hopefully should be a really good show, but no one will know about it, so that's a trouble. But obviously the tech needs to be sorted to make sure the show's good. So feeling very stressed out at the moment. Just got back from a rehearsal, our first rehearsal in the vaults, as well as our first rehearsal with the actors, Nav and Louis. And Xander, actually, who's working on the tech side, sort of tech stage management. So feeling much more positive than I was last night. I had a long conversation with BT today, which is the overriding issue at the moment. Is they said that we could have super fast fibre optic broadband, and it turns out we can't. So it's been working out how much that's going to impact us, considering so much is riding on it, basically. So I was on the phone to them for 3 hours, kind of have something which is workable, feeling good, but still with a hint of like, ooh, I don't know.
21st of June, we just left the vaults. We've been there since 9, it's 5 o'clock now. My legs hurt, actually, because it's like my 60th hour of work this week. Went well. I have been kind of strict on time today and have found it really useful. I feel like because I've been sort of pushing myself and kind of other people to stick to time limits and hurry through decisions ever so slightly, it's made a difference in our ability to actually make decisions and kind of actually hash out scenes and then move on and kind of then come back and revisit scenes freshly and make them better. So that's that. I'm feeling excited, but also really nervous because of how much we've got to get done still. But that's it. I'm going home now to write up a script. Way! So, no rest for the wicked.
Okay, so just got back from another rehearsal and I'm feeling really positive. I'm really excited with how things are going right now. I think that on paper at least, things seem to be going really well. I think that Nav and Louis have kind of got it really quickly. So I think that firstly one of the things I'm nervous about is like just tech and internet. You know, we've worked really carefully on creating this elaborate narrative, and since doing it at the Junction, we've worked really hard to kind of make it more kind of theatrical and make the interactions and choices more meaningful, which I think is good. But my worry is that it's a lot more complicated for the player, and it's going to be more difficult for them. And more confusing and complicated for us too. So I'm really keen / nervous about getting players in, but I want to do that as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm also obviously feeling a bit nervous because I'm actually going away in a few days, so that means there's going to be quite a long, much longer time than I'm comfortable with that I'll be away. Obviously, I completely 100% trust the other guys to do really well. That's not what I'm worried about. I just worried about me coming back in and having to kind of adjust very quickly. I'm worried that by me coming out, there's just going to be so much extra work to divide between the three of them who are already doing a lot.
I'm feeling alright. Lots to do. Little time. The standard stuff. Kind of switching between it'll be fine and sort of like, oh shit, we're really in the shit here, which I think is going to be a constant cycle for the rest of the time doing this. Wish me luck.
Hi, it's been a really busy week, this one. My to-do list has stretched to its 3rd page. I'm really tired. There's so much to do and I know I can't do it all. there's just not enough hours in the day. I know that I'm not going to get everything that I need to get done. If I do, I'm not going to do any of it well. And I don't like it. I want to be able to do a great job, and I want to be enjoying every minute of this opportunity that we've got. This is such a big deal for us, and I want to be able to make sure that we make the most of it. But we are all pushing ourselves so hard that I don't know any of us are going to want to ever do it again, and that's not what this is about. This is supposed to be a first step. It's just so difficult because we all need work to go back to. It's just we can't sustain ourselves like this right now, and so we're all having to balance making this show happen and putting it off. Well, we're all four of us working full-time jobs, and it's too much. I think as well, I feel responsibility for making sure that everyone else is having a good time, and I do realise that they're probably not. Ollie being there, trying to make this happen and trying to make it work. I guess I'm just. I don't know what I can do. I don't know how I can make any of this better. He's doing amazing work, and the things that aren't working aren't his fault. I'm really looking forward to Dan getting back. I think being able to spread the work between the four of us rather than the three, I think will make a huge difference. I just hope that at the end of this whole process, we feel like we've done it and that it did pay off.
Getting through it slowly. Hopefully, I should just absolutely smash it today. Is my plan. Really just need to get grip on it. As it is the 1st of July on Tuesday, and that's very close to our Soho shows indeed. Yeah, I'm a bit stressed out, is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to leave it there and get on with my list. So much to do. So that's me out. Hopefully my next entry I'll be like, smashed it, done everything.
It's been a quiet rehearsal, just me and Mel. We've made some rather drastic changes to the show.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan, and Navi, and Louis, and Ollie, and
Xander
and everyone.
We've changed the show.
But for the better, definitely. Now there are actually no plot holes, which is remarkable.
That we've spotted yet.
Yes.
Dad.
Yeah. But still good, because at least now we feel confident in sort of what we've hashed together out of what already existed. For something like video gaming, regardless of how small the motivation, it's all about motivation, because that's the driving force of moving something forward. That's us. Over and out. We'll probably check back in again later. Symbolic. The slow progress of the giant cog.
It was epic, wasn't it?
So epic. And the small flashes of light.
It's today's the 4th of July. The internet hasn't been delivered. I think it was quite good. Just sort of start staggering through the narrative and figuring out how the scenes join together and doing that linking up. Start to get a feel for how long the show's going to run at. However, we still don't know things like what volume we need everyone to speak at to be heard on the camera and through the webcam. My volume, it's going to be too loud because it's too close. Distances, proxemics is going to be a big old issue next week, I think, for how far what the camera can pick up, what it can see, and indeed whether the internet's going to be strong enough in all the rooms that we are planning to be in. So yeah, I don't like this feeling of not being in control. So it is 23:59 on Friday the 4th of July. It's just become Saturday the 5th of July. So I'm just about to write down all my lines that I have ready for the scenes that we're going to rehearse tomorrow or today in a few hours. I feel a bit emotional, actually. I don't know whether it's panic or tiredness. Not sure. I'm kind of experiencing a bit of a conflict between what my role in the sort of creative side of things and being present in rehearsals to do the acting stuff and be an actor, and remembering to be able to switch off that they're kind of the admin list of things to do. I find it really hard to leave that behind and out of my mind in rehearsals. And time is so precious, and I think this constant kind of state of worry that I have about the internet not being installed in the vaults and not having it in time is starting to really impact on our kind of success in rehearsals as well, because we can't practice the show. We can't find out what it's going to be. We can't rehearse how it's going to be. We can't get Louis and Nav ready for what it is until that's set up. I'm looking forward to having Dan back. He's going to have so much to learn himself. I'm worried that he's going to feel that pressure too much. I'm really ready for things to feel like they're going well, and we're on top of things, and we're ready. I want to feel ready.
We are exactly 1 week away from the show. Now I feel okay, fine. I feel like, holy shit, it's 1 week from the show and our internet isn't working properly and there's still so many unanswered questions. 1 minute I'll be like, fuck, there is no way on earth that we're going to be able to pull this off. And then other times I feel like, it'll be fine, we'll pull it off, it'll be great, ha 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 ha. I've, for the first time, become very aware of how challenging this show is in an odd way. Doing a show, I think, is always challenging. Every show has its own challenges. I think we're borderline insane as a group for choosing to do a piece that relies so heavily on tech when none of us actually know anything about it. I mean, we know bits. We know enough to be interested and to know what we want. It's just a case of making it happen and implementing it so that it A, does what we want, and B, does it well. And C, that we then feel comfortable asking the public to pay money for it. So there's that. Roles. We've all been given roles in the group to help sort of make things run smoother, so that we have some certain amount of accountability for what we do and sort of make sure that shit gets done. I have been given the role of sort of creative lead. I feel very confident in my own kind of natural creative abilities. What I don't feel confident on anymore is the techniques with which how to do that. But what I'm finding is, as it's a collaborative process, as we're technically a non-hierarchical company, I don't know how much license I have to chop, change, edit, add, take away, direct, essentially. It's been a real struggle trying to figure out exactly where the boundary is. And I wonder if actually this is something that the others are also feeling in terms of their roles, or if this is something very specific to creative when you're working in a devised kind of process.
Hello.
Hello.
We've just done an evening rehearsal. It was good. I think we covered some good ground, but I think we're all feeling a little bit like there's too much to do and not enough time to do it in, as is always the way. You okay?
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Dan?
Yeah, similar. I mean, obviously I've just come back as well, so I've still got a bit of catching up to do. But...
Oh yeah, this is our first rehearsal with Dan back.
Yeah.
And we changed his script almost entirely while he was away.
It's fine. We did a few runs through, and actually I was pleasantly surprised that we could do it. And we all knew what we were doing, and from that angle it was fine. Yeah, I'm worried about things like camera angles, and just actually not having had trialists in yet is quite a big concern. But also just about the fact that there's a whole ton of admin to do, and most of us, when we're not at work, we're rehearsing. So actually finding time to do that is one of my other really big concerns right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get it done, probably.
So, yeah, I think overall, positive and excited, tired and overwhelmed.
Yes.
Would you agree?
I think that's a good word. Yeah.
So I think we're still feeling a little bit balloon of doomy, which won't mean anything to you, but I feel like the kite is within sight. That's right.
I'm very aware of how much we are all struggling to get stuff done because we all have full-time jobs as well. Now, it suddenly hit me why people in the arts, in theatre in particular, have shitty menial jobs in service or other areas that are similar that they can leave and not think about or feel pressure about, and then come back and find something similar after they finish a show or a run or something like that. Because the sheer amount of dedication and effort that it takes to pull something like this off is mental. Like, I'm pretty sure I know in myself that I'm working 60 to 70 hour weeks in order to do this. I have my own job, my full-time job, and I have this job. I'm pretty sure that the others are also working similar, and I know that we are all exhausted. I know for a fact that the quality of our show is going to suffer as a result of this. But I also know for a fact that there is nothing we can do about it because we all need to pay rent. This is an issue. This is a funding issue and about the value of art and culture within society and how money is distributed to artists, particularly artist-led organisations that are at a sort of medium range. I know that we'd, for example, love to go on and do more stuff, maybe tour it or do something like that, but I just don't know if we're going to have the capacity and drive. Because, yeah, it'd be great to go off and do that, but for what? For another projects-based grant where we earn like a couple of, close to £1,000, and then what? We can't take time off work for that, but we can't leave jobs where we have some kind of safety, security, and progression.
Okay, so I'm just walking home from the first day of trials. It's Saturday the 12th of July. We had quite a good first go, and then had some severe technical difficulties in the second one, and then another quite good one at the end, the third one. I feel like we got started on a really bad foot because we'd said to be at the vaults for 8 o'clock this morning. I got there at 8 and then no one else turned up until nearly 5:30, and I think it's quite frustrating when that happens. It's we're too close now, and obviously if you're that one person who's made it there on time, and then everyone else doesn't turn up, it just doesn't feel very nice. So I think I was probably a bit moody and horrible when we started the day this morning. But everyone was just very tired and trying to get everything done in a very short amount of time, so it was, I'm struggling a bit at the moment to know how. I feel like we need to be strict, but we also need to be nice. And it's difficult to get that balance right sometimes. We're supposed to go for a pint after rehearsals, together to kind of do some group bonding, and then it kind of dissolved. No one went for drinks, which I think is a shame, but understandable because again everyone's very tired. I've been working very hard, so we're going to try and make sure that we make time to do that next week. It's we're getting there. We're close.
Just finished our dress rehearsal trials, and I have two very prominent feelings. The first is I'm feeling very kind of tired of not being able to say, right, the show is now finished, now let's just perform it. The second thing, which is directly related to it, is
how to gauge the parameters of the show for each player. We've sold it as a video game, but it's a live interactive video game. So some players really, really want set parameters and the decisions spelt out for them, and there to be kind of, it's A or B, 1 or 2, yes or no, kind of structure to what happens. And others really want kind of maximum freedom and the ability to kind of just take the reins and go. And it's just really difficult to strike the balance between the two and to know which is the better option. We've flipped back and forth a number of times because I think we keep changing our minds as well. And it's very exhausting. I'm really tired. I want to be able to kind of settle on one and be like, no, this is our artistic decision. Let's stick with it. And really, really go home with it. And at the moment, it kind of feels like we can't do that. We haven't done that. Which is really scary because tomorrow is we open.
So we had our dress rehearsals this evening. I would say that we are feeling good. The internet was working much better today, the vaults, and it worked well at Soho. We had 3 really good trials. We obviously, as always, lots of last minute things to pull together, so no, it's all coming together and I think it's going to be okay. I think there's still some narrative plot holes that we need to figure out. I think the problem is that it would have been so much better if we could have started trialling sooner. We could have ironed all these things out quicker. We're just sort of discovering a lot about the show as we go. We need contingency time as well as contingency money, I think. So yeah, big day tomorrow, and I've got to go to work. I'm working half days for the rest of the week, which means that I'm not going to have a lot of spare time. Fingers crossed that's all it won't be too much, I hope. Bring it on.
Okay, so I'm at the train station waiting for my train, ready to go to the Vaults for our first day of public performances at the Vaults for the Soho Run. Yeah, and I'm feeling pretty nervous, but I'm excited. I thought that the dress rehearsals yesterday were really good, and it was really cool to kind of be able to practice it and get a bit more confident as we went. I think it would have been really nice to have more trials beforehand, but I think that, yeah, we're just going to have to go with what we've got. It's good that these are kind of the preview shows. I think that probably by the end of the Edinburgh run, the show could potentially look, like, not drastically different, but it could look pretty different in places. Nervous that the first one is press, but equally I'm really excited that we have that opportunity. Tech seems to be working good, which I'm happy about. It's gonna be great. Firstly, in regards to our run at Soho, I was really pleased with how it went. Obviously wasn't so pleased with the Times review, but we've talked about that. And essentially our opinion comes down to the fact that she didn't like games, so she was never really going to like it anyway. But other than that, everyone who came seemed to really enjoy it, and that's good. We did learn quite a lot of stuff from that run though, and I think that we've decided to implement a few changes based on that and how that went, and I'm pretty happy with the changes that we've made, and I think that they're sensible ones. Also, we've had the whole debacle with the shed, which was incredibly stressful, but thankfully the shed is now there in Edinburgh setup and seems to be looking good. It is weird having no idea really how audiences and how players are responding and how they're receiving it.
So it's the 10th of August, we've just finished another amazing day of shows.
Yeah.
It's been a particularly good one this day.
Yeah, I think we're just over about halfway through now, and I think today very much felt like we've kind of got to a point now where we know the show well enough that it's kind of getting more consistent.
It's been tweaked and tweaked and tweaked, and finally things look reasonably good.
And the lighting looks fantastic.
Yeah, the lighting today was excellent.
And Susander worked through some of his breaks and fixed the lighting, and it looks
gamey and awesome.
That's on record now. I work through some. Each day, there's like less tweaking happening. Like,
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah,
Like today, there were like a few tiny things that we were like, okay, let's remember that for next time. But in general, like less and less tweaking is happening.
And we were saying earlier as well that it's getting to the point now where when players say things that kind of surprise us or
They have been doing
which they have been
considerably
doing,
more and more.
it's less terrifying and scary and more like really exciting for all of us, and we're all kind of like quite keen for those things to keep happening now, which is a really great place to be in because that hasn't ever happened before.
Yeah, someone knocked me out today, which was fun. Yeah, this person's dying. Let's punch him in the face. And that's what happened.
So, So, we finished Deadweight earlier tonight, and it was a riot.
And we are now walking to where we were going? Trafalgar Square, where we shall get buses home.
Yes, home. And
It is approximately 4:10 a.m.
yes, and we have had a riot. It's been simply lovely.
We've made friends.
Made friends.
We've smoothed our way to wine.
Yes, and we have been cool.
So
cool.
In our quest for wine.
Also, we are wearing lots of clothes.
Because it is very cold.
Yes,
But the moral of the story is that we have done it.
we did it.
It is done.
We did it.
And
We rocked it somehow.
we're so proud.
We are proud.
I'm
proud.
We've been doing lots of toasts to our success, to Ollie,
to Dan,
to Dan,
to Louis, to Navi, to everybody,
to all the people.
to everyone who made it possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is my post-dead weight documentation. Meaning it's over. It's done. It's happened. I think I'm still tired. And can't quite believe that it's done and then it's over. Yeah. I think I'll have to do this again another time. Not ready.
Yeah, the being up on my own wasn't specifically an issue, particularly. I think we got lucky, you know, I was fine and there all the time and didn't get ill or anything. If I got ill, I don't know what we would have done. Really what we needed was someone else as a producer to be able to talk to press officers and things like that, which is a bit of a pain. We had, as a company, so that was me, Dan, Mel and Elida, we met up on Friday and had a sort of debrief. We really didn't get through anything. I think we just kind of were quite chilled out because we hadn't seen each other in a while. Certainly I hadn't seen him for like a month, which is mad considering how much we were doing before that. When I do self-reflection, I'm really critical, and I've noticed that in sort of my person. But I was just really surprised at how positive a meeting it was. It was, yeah, I sort of really didn't enjoy the project, if I'm honest. It was manic. I had so much to do. Didn't particularly get what I wanted done. Didn't feel fulfilled after the end of it all, which is really negative of me, and I think I felt very much separate from the other three. Would I consider doing anything like it again? I would do it all again, but if I wasn't doing 2 full-time jobs and Blockstop's not going to have enough money to support me, to even go part-time in my work, I have no idea whether I'll continue working with Blockstop, I suppose, is the thing. I sort of ask myself what I'm trying to get out of it all, and I I don't know the answer, really. What's my long game?
So today we've been talking about the future. We've done most of our talking about what happened, and we're now talking about what's to come.
Good things. Maybe.
Yeah. So it's all very exciting. Just trying to figure out what the best next step is, trying to think about what we want to achieve artistically, but also thinking about what we can achieve financially and how to make the project and the company sustainable from that respect as well. It's all very exciting.
It's been exciting conversations, I would say. Political, ideological.
Yes.
And personal and emotional as well, because I think that following any kind of artistic route, there's a kind of unspoken rule where people are expected to kind of work themselves to the ground for not a lot. I suppose for the privilege of being able to put art out there. And I think that we have kind of reached a point today where we have said we want to put our art out there, and we think it's great that we should have the opportunity and make that opportunity, but we don't want to have to kill ourselves in the process of doing it, physically and financially. So,
Yeah.
what next is we don't know, but but we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got lots of time.
Must a tadpole swim down before it becomes a frog? Doesn't rhyme, but it's deep. Of course. Got to swim against the flow. When you're a tadpole. Yeah. The tadpole grows and understands the world from its experiences, like any of us. It falls in love and it falls out of love, and it falls in love. And it goes